What's up, guys? Hoarder here. Doug and I are out today at this amazing house that goes back to, what was it, Doug, like 1750?
Early 1700s.
If you remember the house where we just came off of, where we found all the coppers and all that old stuff, this is actually the owner's son who owns this property, and he also owns a few more, Doug. Who knows, we might even do more of them.
That look every bit as nice as this.
Oh, it's all stone. There's a really old barn over there. There's all sorts of outbuildings. It should be a really good day. Of course, it's me, Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane, Fond Doug. Rich and Matt are both on their way up. They should be here any minute now. So we're gonna start in the front, the other side, and hopefully find some amazing things. So back in the first dig. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Later. All right, we're starting in the back of the house that used to be the front of the house, right, Scott?
That's right.
The property owner's hunting with us today, Scott. Great guy, beautiful property. So I'm starting back here, and this is the first hole I've dug, and I've probably been hunting maybe 15 minutes. It was a scratchy 19, and it still is a 19.
19.
But it was the first repeatable tone I've had. And it was down about maybe 4 inches. I flipped it over, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Tomback button because I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Scott, these Tomback
Beautiful.
buttons, which are an alloy of copper and I think tin, are Colonial period.
Huh.
These are probably late 17, maybe into the 1800s, and that's about it. This one, the shank is missing, but when I clean it in a second, it was actually spun on a lathe when the shank was applied, and you'll actually see groove marks going around like a record would have as it's spun on the lathe and they cut into it. But it's period, man. It's 1700. That's what we're hoping for all day long. So my first dig may have taken a little while, but it was worth it. Awesome find.
That's great.
Well, one of the rare occasions that we're on a Colonial house and I got a find before Rich did. But he's already caught up to me. He said he's got something good. His first dig of the day. Let's see what he's got. Oh!
Yeah.
Is it a half cent or is it a copper button?
Neither.
Oh, neither?
You're thinking everything I thought first.
Is it a token?
It's a token of
Oh, is it?
White Mountains, New Hampshire.
Oh, wow. Is there writing around the edge or is that dentals?
There is. Flume reservation in something. I don't know.
We'll brush it. What is there an
Yeah.
image on that side?
It looks like probably mountains.
All right, let's give it a good brush down. We're going to come back and take a look and try to get an age on this sucker.
Which one?
All right, there's Rich's token, and he brushed it down a little bit more. This side, I'm guessing, is the back. It says White Mountains, New Hampshire. And at the top, it says Preservation of Franconia, I think. I guess some area in New Hampshire. This side, I had a hard time seeing the image. Rich helped me point it out. At the bottom, it says, what was it, Rich?
Old Man of the Mountain.
And there is I guess it's a mountain with a guy's face facing towards my fingertip. I wonder if that still exists up there, like if there's still a folklore of the old man of the mountains.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. I was going to say, I think there is some sort of myth or folklore about
I would have to
that.
imagine there was. But that's a great find, Rich, and I'm guessing, was this a high tone or a mid tone?
High tone.
All right, well,
Sounded
hey.
like a penny, a little higher.
All right, well, hey, nice start, awesome find, something unique.
Yeah.
Way to go, brother.
Thanks.
All right, Musket Ball Matt back today, and I think he's got himself something good. We're in the backyard, kind of working towards where the field is. It gets thick, so we're gonna stay in this cut grass area. Now, you said how it came out of the plug was interesting.
Yeah, so I took the plug out and then I immediately saw the copper, how it was sitting, so I put the plug back.
Oh, really? Oh, let me see. So it is definitely a copper.
Oh, it fell out.
Was it right there in the
was right
side?
there, yeah.
Oh, really? Was it sideways, facing
Yeah, it was
out?
sideways.
I see it. Yep, I see it at the bottom. Oh, you son of a gun. Well, you may have nicked it too.
It looks like it.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right, I don't see anything. I'm going to let Matt do the honors. But hey, definitely. Hey, way to come back, man.
All right, thanks.
Back on the hunt. Your very first, or maybe, I don't know if it's your first hole or your second hole. Oh, I see it.
Drape
It's a drape bust. Yep, it's a drape bust. We'll brush it a little bit. I'm going to come back with a slightly better angle and we'll see if there's any more detail on it, but I could see it right facing. All right, there's Matt's copper, and after a little cleaning in the field, wow, look at that angle, Matt.
Yeah, it's nice.
That is sharp. When you first were cleaning it, I thought it could have been a Liberty cap because they look so similar, but clearly a drape bust large cent. These were what, 1797 to 1807, something like that? I think so. I can't quite see the date on yours, but as you work it more, we might be able to figure it out. The back cleaned up almost just as good, Matt. I can look at that. Oh, that's nice right there.
It is nice.
1 cent, United States of America. I can see all the detail. I can see the bow. At the very bottom, it would say 1/100. Obviously, the fraction for 1 cent. So, way to go, man. Is this your first hole too?
No, not my first hole, but
Your first good hole, at least.
Yeah.
Wow. Hopefully, I can get some more good holes too. This back, I think, is going to be really good, man. I was looking around and look at that big buttonwood tree there.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's amazing. The retaining wall. This house should be incredible. So hopefully the day keeps on going. Awesome find, brother.
all right, thanks.
All right, Rich Van Winkle just yelled out shiny right near this tree. Rich, I thought this was a Japanese maple, but now I'm not sure.
Just the maple.
Just a maple tree?
Yeah.
All right, well, Rich said he's got something shiny under the old maple tree. And, oh, I see it right there. Yep,
It's
it looks like a rosy.
Guess what year?
All right, I'm gonna say 64.
Yep. 64.
Yeah, when you say guess what year, it's instantly I'm guessing the last possible year.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
good
a nice
shape though.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is this was deeper than the 1700s Tomback button I found. Your 1964 Rosie,
Yeah.
even deeper. Well, hey, great job, man. I think you're going to probably find up finding more than anybody, but that's okay.
We'll see.
I'm glad I at least got something.
I would rather have a Tomback button.
Yeah, well, I'm not trading because I'd rather have it too. All right, Rich Van Winkle got over here, and you know what Rich does. He finds stuff. Let's see.
Find things.
He does find things. Let's see what he's got. Oh my goodness. Is it complete, Rich?
No, but almost.
Oh, wow. Scott, I was just telling you about these crotal bells that we found. He's got one almost complete. It's missing some. But that was the Colonial car horn. You put them on you could put them on a goat or a horse just to hear where he is in the field, or you put them on your horses on the carriage, on like a strap, so you would go down the road, let people know you're coming. That's a nice size one too. It's almost like a Japanese baseball size, probably like a number 9 or 10.
Are Japanese baseballs different size?
Doug
than normal
swears they're
baseballs?
smaller. And I said, is that because Japanese people are smaller? And he said, I think so. Now, Doug may have made it up. You know how Doug, just kind of makes things up.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, look at the
petals on
design on that. It'll have to clean up better. Can you see the flower petals going around? This is also probably late 17, early 1800s, made of the same material as that button that I found. Right on the bottom is where the number would be, but it could have been on the broken half over here. And there would have been an iron ball in there. They would put the iron ball in through one of these holes, seam it together, and then snap the wood off that was holding the ball, and then it would jingle. And obviously when it breaks, the iron ball's probably gone forever. But those flowers going around the outside are beautiful. Some people call them petal bells. We call them crotal bells, but they're the same thing. Yeah, I think the size would have been on the other half. And the shanks applied later, and then it was hand drilled through that hole so you could mount it to wherever you're going to put it. That's awesome, Rich. Well done, man.
Thank you.
Was that a nice tone or was it scratchy?
It was nice.
Was it a good
Yeah,
one?
it was pretty good.
Well, hey, it's a nice
It
find,
wasn't
man.
that solid of numbers, but it was,
You were going to dig it, though?
yeah, it was a nice sounding.
Yeah. I think this part of the house that was the original front is going to be the hot spot. That's where the horses came up. You can even see some of the driveway in the field out there where it came up, went around the house, and went off to a carriage house somewhere. Awesome find, brother. All right, I didn't even put the camera away from Rich's crotal bell, which was literally, where was it, Rich? Like right where you're standing?
Yeah.
You called Matt over to look at it. Matt had a signal right next to you.
He asked me if he
Oh, he
could
said it
take
was, okay, that was nice
And
of
I
him.
said, what is it? and I said, go ahead.
Is it good? So Matt came in to look at your bell, had a good signal.
Rich, do you mind if I
Oh! Oh, man. Is it a coin, Matt?
It's a coin,
Right next to Rich's crotal bell?
yeah. Is
Right
that
next to me.
is that not proper etiquette?
Oh.
It is because you asked.
Okay.
I think it's a braided hair. I think. Yeah, it's a braided hair. We're gonna brush it and get a date and come back. It's gonna probably be 1840s, 1850s, but that's what I think it is. Let's clean up. I think you will get a date too. I see a lot of relief on it. Wow. Let's see what you got there, Matt. Well, I had a camera malfunction trying to record the second half of Matt's coin here, so I'll show you a little bit that I can. It was actually a matron head large cent, not a braided hair, and we were even able to see a date. I think it was 1826, in fantastic condition. And the backside is actually even better. Look at all the detail. 1 cent, full wreath, tons of relief just popping off this thing. So hey, sorry Matt that this clip got ruined, but I have a feeling you're gonna have a pretty good day. Let's go on to the next one. All right, we're still in the back. It's been a really good start so far. This, I was afraid there'd be fill, Matt, but you know, based on the things we're finding, it's pretty good. Yeah. This was a scratchy, like 44 up to 50, and I was like, I'm just gonna take a shot. It was only about maybe 4 inches deep. It's in the plug, and I saw the edge of what looks like a silver dime. Now, Rich found a rosy. I'm gonna hope mine's older, but who knows? Oh, it's a Merc. I think it's a Merc. Is it? Yep, it's a Merc. Nice. I can see a date right there too, Matt. 19, looks like 23.
Need a spray or not?
I think it's 23. Yeah, we'll give it a spray. Do you have water on you?
Oh.
19, I think it's 23. I don't have my good glasses on. And is there a mint mark on it? No, Philadelphia mint, but nice shape. There's been a lot of signals around. You just got to try to isolate them and pull them out of there. But I'll clean this up and get a nice shot of it. That's beautiful. Love that design. All right, Matt, you might be the hot swinger today, even more so than Rich. Matt's got another copper coin, he said. And, oh, I see it down there again. That's another good size one, Matt. Did you touch it yet? Oh, did you have to touch it first? I'll bring you bad luck if I touch it first. There we go. Let's see. Do you see anything on it? Oh, it's totally covered. I'm trying to block this wind. Dirt's really on there. Yeah, it's like clay. And that's not the best brush either. We should go back and get those good brushes. They're in the car. All right, Matt's gonna have to clean this. There's clay on both sides. We'll clean it up and we're gonna come back and see maybe you're gonna get that elusive chain scent, Matt. All right, there's Matt's copper. You can clearly see the 1 cent on the back. Matt, you're getting some really good detail on yours too. These yard coppers are nice, just I guess no fertilizer. So easy living for these guys in the ground for hundreds of years. This is the front. This one is a braided hair large cent. The first one I thought was a braided hair actually was a matron. This is indeed a braided 1840s or so. And I think I can almost see a 4 in the date, but I'm not positive. But lots of stars on there. Is that Doug's phone going off?
How they figured it out, I don't know. But
all the stars on there, super thick. And this one, man, you could knock a guy out. You chuck this one. This will skip across a lake. That's an awesome find, man. You are the hot swinger today. So wherever you go, I'm going to follow you. Actually, I'm going to take 2 steps in front of you. I had a homeowner that made you coffee, too. Lucky dog. Nice find.
All right, thanks.
Well, still hugging the house. It's been a lot of good finds so far. Very little trash. This was coming up scratchy in the ground, 36, now 35. This actually could be a fatty. I got this, which is clearly a penny, but that low, it's going to be most likely an Indian, maybe a fatty.
I never knew that.
Look, right there. Where is it? Right there. I could see some of the headdress, I believe, of the Indian. I can see the points of the feathers. There. Oh, look at that. Was a good rub. All right, let's see. I'm gonna clean this up and try to get a date off of it. That's fatty number, but it doesn't look or feel fat. But I'll tell when I get that date off and maybe in the back. Another good find. Let's check it out. All right, there's my Indian. I cleaned it up enough to get a date. I think it's 1903. Very strange that it would show up that low, a 35. I thought it might have been a fatty, but like I said, it didn't feel fat, and it's not a fatty. So why it's coming up that low, I'm not sure. Back I didn't really clean yet because we're finding so much stuff. I don't really want to take too much time and clean it at the moment. But a great find. As I was cleaning it, Doug yelled out he's got a pewter spoon bowl, and Rich said he's got a buckle. So good things are being found. Let me go walk over and take a look at the stuff they got. Awesome start. All right, let's take a look at Dougie's pewter spoon. I'm glad you got over in the back with us, Doug, because
Yeah, I was.
you were messing around in the lead by the barn. Ooh, I see a flower on it, Doug.
Yeah, it's pretty. You can tell it was.
Oh yeah, look at
It's a
that.
utensil.
This would be the bottom side of the spoon where they mounted to the handle.
Yeah, you can actually see where the handle.
Oh, yep,
attached
yep.
Right there.
But what's weird, Doug, is the spoon would have been like this, like you would have eaten out of this part.
Yep.
So not only did it get smushed flat, but then it inverted itself. Because the moment like this is more spoon shaped, but really this was the back.
Really?
Oh yeah, because the design was in the back where the handle met.
Oh. Okay.
This would have been the part that you would
Ate
lick the
from.
pudding off of.
Okay.
I'm trying to give references that you would understand.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is the pudding side.
Jello brand pudding.
But yeah, that's great, Doug. I do love the design. Where they connected those pewters, they always kind of tried to cover up the weld with an interesting little ornate
Design,
piece.
Yeah.
And you got a beautiful one there, the flower.
Yep. Shame it isn't intact.
Yeah, it is a shame, but it's still a really nice find. And you didn't break it either. I could see it. That's an old break.
That's somebody else's.
Oh, hey, nice find, man. That's
Richard
really good.
nicked some.
200 some years old on that sucker,
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Well done.
Yep. Well, the house is old.
All right, I was recording something. I think Doug's pewter spoon, where Rich had a button over here. He kind of left it dirty for me. Here it is. It looks like it's another Tomback button, similar to the one I found, which was actually not far from here at all, Rich.
No, really close.
Yeah. Yours is busted, and Rich did not bust it, so he's off the hook. No shank, but almost the same size it would have been if it was whole. Mine's in my pouch, I'd pull it out.
Yours looks like it was dropped yesterday, and mine looks like it was dropped 200 years ago.
I know, sometimes you get lucky that way. Yours is like, the dirt came right off mine in one rub, and yours it's kind of sticking. And yours, obviously I'm colorblind, but yours looks like it's a greener color.
It is.
Mine was more silvery.
Yeah.
But-
And again, I wonder if that's the difference between more.
Yeah,
Of a
more
certain
tin.
metal,
Yeah,
more-
more or
yeah.
less tin. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if there was any consistency to Tomback. It was an alloy, I guess, in the brass family. But just by putting a little more tin, a little more arsenic, a little more anything, maybe you get a different color, maybe you get a different structurally sound button.
I always add a little more arsenic to everything.
I like to. It spices things up a little bit. It tastes good, too. Well, hey, good find there, Richie.
Thank you.
All right, Dog Tag Doug just said that he's got a fatty. Now, Scott, there was a few years back in the late 1850s, early 1860s, where a penny was like 1.5 times as thick as they are now. And one of those pennies, it's called a Flying Eagle. They made it 2 years, and it's Doug's biggest bucket lister, we call it. He's never found one. So whenever Doug gets a fatty, I kind of get excited, hoping he might get this elusive Flying Eagle. Let's see. Now, Doug's been known to say, I got a fatty, and I come over, and it's not even a coin. So, really, I have no idea what I could be.
It's a fatty.
It is definitely
there's
a fatty.
No question.
Let me see. All right, let's see. It definitely feels like a fatty.
And it almost looks like the right.
If you get a Flying Eagle, Doug, I would...
Buy me dinner.
It's a fatty Indian. I can see the
can?
headdress, and I can see it facing. Still, I mean, it's close. The fatty Flying Eagle is still going to elude you, but it's a fatty Indian. We'll clean it and get a date, but I can see the Native American.
Yeah.
Well, if I can see the shield, we can even narrow down the date more. So it looks like no Flying Eagle this time, but it's still 170-year-old coin
And
or
I
so.
did dig the proper signal.
Finally got on something. Let's clean up and see what you do have with this. All right, there's Dougie's coin, and unfortunately, not the Flying Eagle this time, but he does still get a fatty Indian, an early one. I can't quite see the date on this side, but when I flip it over, I can see it appears to be there's no shield at the very top. And if there is no shield, then we know it's an 1859 first year fatty.
Right.
Now, my eyes aren't real good, Doug, and it's really dirty. If there is a shield, then it would be 1860 through, I think, 64. And I know you want that flying eagle, but all that means is it's still waiting for you somewhere,
Yep, and
Dougie.
it might be in this yard.
Very well could be. We've gotten stuff before it, during it, and after it. So hopefully you will get one. Great find, brother.
Thank you.
All right, Doug and I are going to walk over. Matt must have something good. Matt yelled, which he doesn't yell a lot. He doesn't emote very often. He was...
Doesn't do anything.
Well, he was very excited. You know, usually he's cool as a cucumber, but he let out like a shriek like an 11-year-old girl would do. Oh, is it really good, Doug?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what it is yet.
It just popped right out of there.
Oh, is it going to be a whole one? Oh, it is complete. It's a little smaller than Rich's, but it's complete.
But
Oh, man. Let's see if I can see some of the petals.
way to go,
With
Matt.
just a little...
Snipped it.
There's the petals, Scott. Can you see them starting to come through?
Yeah.
If you have a bucket of water, if we submerge this for a couple of minutes, we'll get the dirt out and it'll ring again. Because the ball's still in there.
Hopefully.
No, it will.
No. I got one who was in pristine shape, cleaned it all out, and nothing. The ball had
Disintegrated?
I guess disintegrated. Yeah. It was a small one though.
I think it's going to ring again.
I think that size it would take a lot more to disintegrate.
I think it's going to ring again.
That's nice. That's like a 5.
Yeah, it's a medium-sized one, and it's old. You can see the applied shank, drilled hole, just like the one Rich found, only his little brother. That's a heck of a find, Matt. We're going to see if we can clean it out while we're here and see what it sounds like.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks.
All right, Scott, the homeowner here, brought the bell over. He watered it all out for us, cleaned it, and we're going to hear it ring for the first time in 200 years. Go ahead, Matt. Awesome. Now, you know what's cool, Matt? Hold for a second. Because the ball inside is iron, there's probably a good layer of rust going around the ball, which would lower the tone that's making. So back in the day, it was probably a different pitch altogether. Great find, Matt. You found that nice acorn one. Remember the one time a couple years ago? Very rare to find them in any other shape, but awesome job. Well done, brother. Oh, man, what an incredible house this has been so far. 300 years it's been standing there with families living in it the entire time. So the possibilities of things scattered all throughout that yard is amazing, and it sure didn't disappoint. I had that complete 1700s Tom back button that wiped beautifully clean with just one swipe. Doug got the pewter spoon bowl, also 200 plus years old, with the flower motif soldered onto the back. Rich's old man of the mountain token from up in New England, not quite as old, but still fascinating. Even Matt's complete number 9 size crotal bell, cleaned up great with beautiful patina and rang louder than Rudolph pulling the sleigh. And some amazing old coins were found there too. I think every guy got an amazing old coin. I had an Indian head penny going back to 1903. Rich got a last year silver Roosevelt dime. Then I pulled a 100-year-old exactly Mercury dime. That thing was in fantastic condition. Doug just missing his flying eagle by 1 year with his 1859 first year fatty Indian. And then Matt stealing the show with the biggest, largest coppers of the day, and man, he had a handful of them. He had the braided hair large cent 3 inches from where Rich's last haul was, and that thing was in fantastic condition. Then he had the Matron head large cent, even older, probably going back to like the 1820s. Even a beautiful drape bust large cent. That thing can go all the way back to the 1790s. We're finally getting closer to the age of that house. And if you like what you've seen so far, wait till you come back next week for part 2 as we find more coppers, more silver, more relics, even more gold. We've been really killing it on the gold lately. What an incredible house. I hope you join us for part 2. And of course, if you need a metal detector, pinpointer, sand scoop, anything hobby related, the Christmas season is upon us. There are deals and specials and freebies from all the manufacturers. So if you ever wanted to get in, this might be the time. So just shoot me an email, quarterhoarder@yahoo.com. Let me know where you live and what your budget is and what kind of terrain you plan on swinging over. I'll help you pick out the best machine for your budget so you can get out and find some of the incredible things like we do every single week. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. It's a hobby of champions. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody. happy hunting, and I'll see you next week for part 2. Later.